awesome time today. We got a couple next Riverside expanding, and we're trying to make it do what it needs to do at WBSW Radio Internet. We also have StreamYard back in existence, making it do what it do, so you can also continue to connect with us. Matter of fact, we have the line now open that you can work on giving us a call so you can be a part of what we're trying to do here. But as we move forward, I am Dr. Lorenzo D. Smith, excited to come before you to discuss the topic of understanding understanding relationship delusion. This is Straight Talk, No Chaser, and Straight Talk, No Chasers focus on conversation that is honest and very direct. We're aired on Mondays, varies in time, a lot of time in between 4 and 5. We're a little bit running behind today. We're on 4:49, but we're going to make it do what it do. If you want to join us as a guest on Riverside.com, you can go to Riverside, which is the link, Riverside.com/studio/WVSW-radio-internet. Also, you have an opportunity to check us out again on StreamYard. We're excited, and all that is you can join us on StreamYard.com, and the focus is on Dr. Lorenzo D'Alberto Smith. You can make it do what it need to do. You can join us. So now we have a hotline that you can call us, but we're working to get everything up to par. So we won't have to accept any calls today, but we're going to make sure we open the door up so you can call and share your thoughts. I mean, you don't have to be broadcast, but you can just share your words audio. So we're looking forward to bringing this opportunity to you because it is a blessing to be able to do. So as we talk about you connecting with us, if you want to share your opinions, stories, examples, or whatever's happening in your neck of the woods live with me and the world, you go to Big O Live. That's Dr. L. D'Alberto Smith. Facebook, we have 2 operating channels, which is Dr. L. D'Alberto Smith and Zeta Phi Sigma Greenville. We're partnering with the brothers of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated in Greenville, Alabama. So we're trying to make it do what it needs to be done. Let's say it that way. Super Live, WBSW Radio Internet, Tango, and that's WBSW-radio-14059. Twit, Dr. L. D'Alberto 2017. Then we also have TikTok, that's Dr. Lorenzo D'Alberto Smith. YouTube, again, we have 2 channels. You can subscribe and join us. That is Dr. Lorenzo D'Alberto Smith, as well as the Smith Way Enterprises. Our on-demand episodes are available. You need to go to podservefm.com, type in WVSW Radio, and you can populate our on-demand episode. It's good because it goes to StreamYard, where we can go back to 5 years from now, where we are blessed to be able to do that today. Hopefully it'll be in existence tomorrow. So you got Alexis, you got Amazon Podcast, Apple Podcast, Edge, Google Plus, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Pod Paradise, Snitchers, Pandora, and Spotify. You go to podservefm.com and type in WVSW Radio. It'll populate all of our previous broadcasts, better known as on-demand episode, and you can just watch us. We're excited about that. We are an interactive platform, and we want to make sure we can share with you how we're getting the word out. We have listeners and watchers, including you. You're joining us today in 61 countries and on 6 continents. We want you to register for WVSW Radio giveaways. Send your name with a means of transaction. Some people say, what do you need a minute? I need it because I'm going to send you some money. So I want you to send me your name along with a means of transaction. I was kind of locked in on a certain one, but some people have different. I want you to just send your name with your means of transaction, and I will make the adjustment so I can get you from $5 to $100, or I get you a gift card, or I get you a gas voucher, food voucher, a book bag. I'm going to get you something that I'm giving back to you. The money I know you prefer, and we want to give it to you. So we're going to make sure we can get it to you, but we must have your name with a means of transaction. You say, what is a means of transaction? Venmo, Zelle, Bitcoin, Cash App, PayPal. Each and every one of those are means of transaction. We're not advertising to for you to send us anything but that. And we're going to send you something. And we're excited about having that opportunity to do that. You can send it to LorenzaDSmith15@gmail.com. Type it in on the social media site that you're on, and send me a comment, send me a message, whatever you're able to send to me, do that. And let's make sure that we can get something to you, because we promised to make sure we put it in your hand for the end of August. So this is the week. If we don't get anything from anyone, we'll move it to September. If we don't get anything, we'll October, meaning a response from you all. We need you all to hit the like button for one thing, but you also need to make sure you feel the need to monetize. But we're going to send you something. We're going to put your name in the giveaway. We're going to raffle off some things. And I can see in my background, they got a couple things on here. We're going to kind of shoot it out and get rid of it. And it's a television that normally broadcasts a lot of our videos and everything. We just want to make sure everybody have an opportunity. We keep everything above board. That's what it's all about. Again, sow a seed with us by hitting the like button. Monetize with us through Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Big O Live, Podbean, Pod Paradise, Riverside, Super Live, Tango, and YouTube. The title again of today's show is Understanding Relationship Delusion. You heard people, that person is delusional. They don't understand. They got a mindset on something that is really, really not in line. And especially when we're talking about relationships. Understanding relationship delusions. And sometimes there are quite a few in place. And we want to talk about in-depthly about that today. And hopefully something we can share with you. You know, today we want to we're going to explore something deeply human, often misunderstood, and surprisingly common: relationship delusion. The term describes situation where someone become convinced of something about a relationship that isn't supported by reality. Some people believe because you communicate with them back, they feel like if it's been more than one or two times, you are now in a relationship. That is far from it. So they have an understanding, convince themselves that they're in a relationship with you just because you said hi. They believe they're inside the door. And the truth of the matter, they're delusional. They are not in reality. Something is not working like it should. So when the person don't have anything to support reality, it might involve believing a relationship exists when it doesn't. Believing someone feels they haven't expressed themselves or expressed or hold on to a future with someone. Think about that. Have you been previously in a relationship? The relationship been over 3 or 4 years, but the person delusional believe they're still in a relationship from that present moment into the future. I want you to kind of think about that for a minute. Are you in a relationship where there's some delusion going on? See, when we're talking about clear evidence, we require to determine you're in a relationship with someone. That means you say you're in a relationship, and that person in return said they're in a relationship with you. The clear evidence is their words. Many people believe because someone may send something that maybe make you smile, the first thing comes across your mind, you're now in a relationship. That's not evidence. That is just a moment of gratitude, of thanking you. See, when we're talking about clear evidence that the relationship is not moving in a direction, but those people think it's moving in a direction, so they become delusional. See, this isn't about being foolish or dramatic. It's about how the mind tries to protect us from fear, loneliness, uncertainty, and emotional pain. Delusion come into play so you won't accept that that person don't want you, don't want to be with you. So you don't want the pain. See, I spoke to my class this morning at the university. I have a 9:30 class on psychology. And when we talk about the mind, the psychics of us, sometimes it is not working in the order it should be. See, sometimes we interpret things that are not really happening. See, understanding relationship delusions isn't about judging ourselves or others. It's about learning how our mind works. As I shared in my class, I said the brain is wired for comfort. The brain is wired to avoid pain. The brain is wired for easy. So if someone don't really like you, you think they do, and you're afraid for them to tell it. When they do tell you, I don't really want to be around you, your brain try to get into a fearful mode because it is wired for comfort. That is not comfort when you are told that someone don't want to be in the presence of you. We have to really think about understanding relationship delusions. We have to know that delusion allow you to learn about how the brain works, how the mind works. It's how our emotions shape our interpretations. Because we're wired for ease, comfort, and avoid pain, we don't want to deal with fear. We don't want to deal with hurt. We don't want to deal with loneliness. We don't want to deal with uncertainty. Because in emotional pain, person telling you, I don't want to be around you, what you tend to do is interpret something different. Again, we have to learn how our mind works, our emotions shape our interpretation, and how we can move toward healthier, more grounded connection. Accepting that that person don't want to be around you. Accepting they don't want you in their life. We have to interpret and let our mind work, but we have to teach the mind that no means no. Someone said, why do we have to teach? Because a lot of us don't understand no. We become delusional when we hear the word no. And I want you to kind of think about being healthy. I want you to think about being grounded. I want you to think about being connected. We must put ourselves in a position where we're not forced to believe that something we want and believe that we want us. We have to accept that there's a chance that we're taking that person don't want us. See, relationship delusion occurs when someone believes or have beliefs about a relationship. That relationship then becomes disconnected from observable reality. The person may feel certain that a bond exit, that affection is present, or that a future is guaranteed, even when the other person's behavior doesn't support those beliefs. They told you and they're showing you. But you can't accept it because you're in an alternate reality. You believe that they really feel a way about you that you think is positive, because the fear is that if I really believe what they have said and how they've shown that they feel, I'm fearful. I'm afraid. That's why we have to be careful how we treat individuals. Careful to treat others how we want to be treated. See, some good examples of a person behavior doesn't support their belief. Interpreting politeness as a romantic interest. Have you been ever caught up in that situation? Being around someone you just being nice to and they think that's a romantic interest. Believing someone is meant for you despite their lack of engagement. Delusional. Something ain't right. It's time for us to realize that no means no. Their actions saying, no, I don't want to be around you. No, you're not my interest. No, I have no romantic interest in you. No, I don't. So what you have to put in your mind, that because they are not engaged with me, best because politeness is that's part of their makeup, doesn't mean it's a romantic interest. Holding on to a relationship ideal. That exists mostly in imagination. Come on, is that you? Feeling chosen or special, even when the person hasn't expressed a commitment. Interpreting minimum contact as deep emotional investment. See, these experiences can feel incredible, incredibly real. They can feel powerful, comforting, and emotionally vivid, but they can also lead to confusion, disappointment, and emotional exhaustion. Relationship delusion is not a clinical diagnosis, it's a pattern of thinking that can happen to anyone, especially during a period or during periods of emotional vulnerability. Emotional vulnerability, a pattern of thinking. A pattern of thinking. I want you to plant that in your mind that this person is delusional because they have a pattern of thinking. And it can happen to anyone. You didn't read the room right. You didn't read that person right. It was a time of emotional vulnerability for you. So we have to make sure we're not seeking comfort and misinterpret what people are doing for us because of the kindness of their heart. Don't mean they want a romantic relationship with you. You ask yourself why relationship delusion happens. Why does it happen? To understand relationship delusion, we need to understand the psychological forces behind it. These forces are signs of weakness. They are signs of humanity. The forces, as I'm going to repeat it, are not signs of weakness. It's a sign of humanity. Emotional needs. Humans are wired for connection. I'll say it again. You are wired for connection. See, when someone deeply wants closeness, the mind may fill in gaps with imagined certainty, loneliness, fear of abandonment, or longing can distort interpretation. The mind tries to protect us from pain. By creating a story that feels safer than reality, better known as an emotional need. Misreading signals is a second one. People often misinterpret behavior. Politeness can be mistaken for affection. Inconsistency can be mistaken for mystery. Avoidance can be mistaken for shyness. The brain tries to create a coherent narrative to protect you, even if the narrative isn't accurate. You wonder why some people that can come up with some of the greatest stories, and you wonder how they come up with them. Their imagination is running away with it. Idealization Sometimes persons become a symbol. A person become a symbol of safety, validation, hope, or escape. Rather than a real human being, when someone is idealized, their actual behavior becomes secondary to the fantasy of who they represent. Fantasy world, better known in a movie many years ago, Fantasy Island. You create an island inside of your head. You're placing you and that person on it. You're inaccurately thinking of something and trying to put someone into your world that may not have no idea or no intention of going into your world. Past experiences, people who grow up with unpredictable affection or inconsistent caregivers may develop patterns of clinging to imagined certainty. They cling to imagined certainty. See, if love was something that had to be earned, the mind may recreate that dynamics in adulthood. Think about that. If love was something that had to be earned or not just given as a gift because you say, I love you, the truth of the matter, it has to be earned because you must. Love is all about action. And your action indicate how you really feel. Your mind will allow you to put yourself in a position to know and say and live what love is and what love does. But it also can create that dynamic in your adulthood. Cognitive bias, the mind uses shortcuts. Have you ever thought about that? The mind uses shortcuts that can distort reality. Your mind, because it's wired for comfort, ease, to avoid pain, it'll create a shortcut. And it's distorted when that happens. See, that reality is distorted. So when it becomes distorted reality, these are the things that occur. Confirmation bias. You heard of that? Noticing only signs that support what we want to believe. We can look at the world, they've got a lot of confirmation bias. People want to believe something when they know it's not right. They're trying to make it reality. They're delusional. Selected memory. You only want to remember what was good and forget about the bad. Remembering moments that fit the fantasy. The plane, boss, the plane. Fantasy Island. For a lot of you might not know. I was one of the characters. I always would say when the plane bring in those individuals for Fantasy Island, because they come in there on their fantasy. Fantasy compensation. Using imagination to soothe emotional discomfort. Imagination to soothe emotional discomfort. See, these buys are powerful. They can make a relationship feel real even when it isn't. Confirmation bias, selected memory, fantasy compensation. Now you have to ask yourself, how does the idea of relationship delusion show up? How do it show up? Relationship delusion can manifest in many ways. Holding on to someone who clearly disengaged. Believing a partner will change despite repeated patterns. People show themselves, believe what you see. Feeling certain about a future that the other person hasn't agreed to. Interpreting minimalist contact as deep interest. Staying attached to a relationship that exists mostly in imagination. See, these patterns can create cycles of hope, disappointment, and renewed hope. The emotional roller coaster can feel intense, consuming, and confusing. What is the emotional impact of relationship delusion? Relationship delusion can affect emotional well-being in several ways. Number one is emotion exhaustion. Holding on to fantasies requires constant mental gymnastics or effort. The person will feel drained, anxious, or preoccupied. Self-doubt, when really reality contradicts the fantasy. The person may question their worth, their judgment, or their desirability. Isolation, relationship delusion can pull someone inward, away from real relationship that could offer support and grounding. You might be running behind someone, don't feel the same way you feel. When you allow the real relationship, the real opportunity to bypass you, where you can be grounded and you can get support. But you want to run behind the person that's not willing to give you that. The fear of letting go of fantasy can feel like losing a part of oneself. The imagined relationship may feel safer than facing uncertainty. See, those emotions I just shared, these experiences are real and deserve compassion, not criticism. How do you recognize relationship delusion? You should ask yourself. See, recognizing a relationship delusion requires honesty and gentleness. Some questions you should consider. Am I relying on imagination more than observable behavior? People show themselves, believe what you see. Don't be imagining doing something different. They have showed you their actions speak for themselves. Speak for them. Let my work speak for me. So my action, when I show you I don't want to be around you, speaks for me. Do I ignore or reinterpret signs of disinterest? Do you ignore it? Or you try to reinterpret a sign or signs of disinterest? When people are not interested in you, they show you. As you say, I can show you better than I can continue to tell you. Let my actions speak for me. Do I feel certain about something the other person hasn't expressed? They never said they even have a conversation. They ever had a conversation. I want to have a conversation with you, but you are so delusional, or you're in fantasy land, and you're trying to reimagine it to make it fit what you are thinking. So you wanted to break this pattern. You must begin to break the pattern. Breaking relationship delusion is not about force. You can't physically break it. It's about clarity, support, and emotional grounding. Number one, reality anchoring. Look at behavior, not interpretation. What has the person actually said? Be a good listener when you're around people that you don't have an interest, but they won't go away. Be a good listener. Be very observant. Don't you fall into reimagining or reinterpreting what they're doing. What actions have they consistently taken? What patterns repeated? Reality anchoring. Number two is emotional awareness. Ask yourself, what is the fantasy protecting me from? Ask yourself, what is it protecting me from? Fear of being alone? Fear of rejection? Desire for validation? Longing for connection? Is the fantasy protecting you? You need to know from what. If it's one of these things I just shared, fear of being alone, fear of rejection, a desire for validation, longing for connection, I need to make sure I know so I can get the help I need. See, understanding the emotional root helps loosen the gap, loosen the grip, loosen the tightness of the delusion. Grounded relationships, taking an opportunity to talk with people who offer honesty, caring perspective can help someone see the difference between hope and reality. See, human connection is essential, but you must be grounded in your relationship. Professional support, always recommend a therapist, can help untangle emotional patterns, build healthier relational habits. Therapy is not a sign of weakness, not a sign of you being crazy. It's a sign of strength and self-awareness. Self-compassion. See, relationship delusion is not about a moral failure. It's a human responsibility to unmet needs and emotional vulnerability. See, treat yourself with kindness. As you work through relationship delusion. You must move forward toward a healthy relationship. The question you ask is, when we're talking about a healthy relationship, we need to know what they're built on. Mutual respect, clear communication, consistent behavior, shared effort, emotional safety. Moving toward healthier relationships means valuing yourself enough to see clarity, consistency, and reciprocal. It means allowing reality to guide your decision rather than fantasy. It means choosing relationships where you are seen, valued, and respected. You are moving toward healthy connections. You're moving toward long-lasting relationships. You're moving toward lifelong success. When you understand that you must have mutual interest, clear communication, consistent behavior, shared effort, and emotional safety. Relationship delusion is a human experience, not a flaw. It arises from emotional needs, past experience, and the mind attempt to protect us, comfort, ease, avoiding pain. See, understanding it allows, meaning relationship delusion, understanding that it allows us to move toward healthier, more grounded relationship. When you realize that that is not the relationship that you want to be in or continue to run behind trying to be in, you're no longer delusional. You're moving toward being healthy so you can make better decisions and become more grounded in all the opportunities you have in a relationship. See, if you recognize any of these patterns in yourself, you deserve support, clarity, and connection with real people who care about you. You must be able to recognize people who care about you. Not care what they can get from you, is care about you. If you say, "Well, I'm struggling, I'm not in a relationship because I'm not having success. I keep picking the wrong people," because you are picking people that don't care about you. They care about what you can give them, not about you as a genuine, authentic person. When you encounter this, talk to someone you trust, a friend, a family member, a mental health professional. They can help you navigate these feelings you have with compassion and strength. The ideal is don't live in fantasy world. Live in a world of reality. Make your decision to follow the course or chart the course of reality, not fantasy. You can be in your own island, or be on your own island if you want to say it. You can be in your own world, but let it not be a fantasy island in a fantasy world. I want to thank each and every one of you all for joining me. God has blessed us one more time. We talked about relationship delusion, people being delusional. You must understand it. Don't allow yourself to fall into that trap. Let's live in reality, not fantasy. Let's live in a healthier and grounded life, which includes your relationships. Let's choose relationships where you are seen, valued, and respected. I pray that you have an awesome rest of the evening. I want to let each and every one of y'all, every one of you all know I love you. And give a shout out. Several people join us. Eugenia, thank you so much. TJ, thank you for jumping in here right quick. And like Gene, thank you so much. And many others who have taken time to be here. Shout out to Beauty. Rock Chilla, thank you so much. Zendra, thank you so much for joining us. You got a 910-208-8601. That's the number that joined us. Thank you so much for taking time. We got Sarah, who jumped in here right quick. Thank you so much for taking time. We got Steppa. Thank you so much for taking time to jump in here. God has been so good and blessed us. As I gave a shout out to Gene. Thank you, Gene, so much. Then we have Kendra. Is that kid? Is that an O in there? No, that's Kendi. Kendion Turner. Thank you so much. Somebody said, "Wait, he's struggling with that." Show you. Woods, damn. Thank you so much. I love you. Jesus is joining us. Thank you so much. We have family. Thank you, family, for jumping in right now. Ashley, thank you. Ashley Queen, thank you so much. Queen Mary joining us. Thank you so much. Jay Elizabeth, thank you so much for joining us as well. Mia, thank you for taking time. Trying to give a shout out. I got many other individuals that are joining us as well. I want to thank each and every one. We have over 50 plus people. Number normally be bigger, but almost about 100 people joining us on one of the super live. Thank you so much for jumping in here. All of y'all be safe. Take care of yourself. But I just want to give a shout out. Glad man. Thank you so much. Fat on the yay. 1955. Thank you so much. Bama Sparkle, Bama Spark. Thank you so much for joining us. The real, see the real J Big Avail. Thank you so much. Adua, thank you so much. Uh, is that G Sendova. Stephanie, thank you so much. Albert G. Jr., thank you so much for taking time. It's a blessing to have each and every. Richard, thank you for jumping in. It was a blessing talking with you all today. Hopefully, we shared something about relationship delusion. Make sure you understand. Don't get caught up when you allow yourself to live in fantasy. In other words, fantasy world on fantasy island. You want to live in reality. Understand who you are and whom you are. Make sure you are valued, seen, and you're emotional grounded. Do not get caught up trying to give folks things and give them more time than you really have to give. Be blessed, be safe. I love each and every one of you all from my heart. I want you all to take care of yourself, and we'll see you tomorrow. We're hitting it real early tomorrow at 12:30. I believe we have moved to the noonish hour. We're going to do Dr. Lowe's neighborhood, where we focus on preparing and building our boys to be impactful men. I want you to be blessed. Take care of yourself. I'll see you tomorrow at 12:30, and we're going to make it do what it need to do. And I just want to say to you, and I see, can I have a little music to go with it? I love you, and ain't a thing you can do about it. Take care of yourself. Well, holla.